Alright, we're back today with our 2003 Mercury Optimax. Going to run two experiments on this motor today. One, we put on a VesselView mobile tied into the SmartCraft. Got it all set up on our devices, could not get it to function properly. I was getting diagnostic messages out of the computer, but not getting any run data out of this motor at all. It kept telling me port engine failure issues. It wouldn't communicate properly, only give me some diagnostics. Now this motor is a counter rotator by serial number, even though the lower unit was switched to a standard starboard rotation. By serial number on the computer, this still thinks it's a port counter rotating motor. The other thing that's going on is it appears that our overflow bottle has a bad float in it. I'm continuing to get an alarm message that is confirmed both by the 4 beeps up front and by the VesselView mobile that I was getting. So we're going to run two experiments today. Number one, I've pulled the sensor out. We're going to simply jumper the leads here coming out of our bottle for our alarm system and see if the alarm goes away. I do know that I don't have a low oil problem. I do purge this and it will overflow, so I know I don't have an issue. So here's our simple little bullet connector jumper wire. The other thing I've done, which was very, very interesting, I got all kinds of weird messages. We talked to Mercury about VesselView Mobile and a port engine. When I told them that this was a single motor now, that it had been part of a pair, they didn't really know exactly what to tell me about VesselView Mobile. What they did tell me was, well, take it to a Merc dealer, have the computer reflashed, have them set this to a starboard motor. Now, we called a couple Mercury dealers who essentially laughed at us and said that Mercury was out of their minds and they don't know what they're talking about. That you're really not going to be able to do what they said. So I do know we have this here, but very, very interesting. I'm going to fire up VesselView Mobile on my phone, and we're going to let's open it up, and I'll show you what I've done. Let's load it up. That'll show here in the glare. So I've gone ahead and loaded this up. Let me load my profile. I had this boat set up on we have a VesselView Mobile on the other boat as well. So let's go ahead and switch profiles here. Let's get this to the other one. Sorry, not enough hands. And we're going to go to a different profile. And I'm going to go to this boat, and I don't know if is this going to show on here. Let's take this where we can see the screen. I'll show you what I've done. I had nothing to lose by trying this. I got so much glare on my screen you probably can't see it. So let's get in here where you can see this. Okay, so what I've done is, since this is a now lonely port engine, we went ahead and set this to a dual engine. Put the same serial number in for both starboard and port, and amazingly, as soon as we put this in as a port engine with the serial number, we suddenly got the hours. So now that I have the hours, it's the first time I got to look at it. I find it very interesting. It's got 311 hours on it, so that's what the Navy put on it. So it's 311 hours on that motor. We didn't know that until we finally got this working. Very interesting. Now that this is a port engine, I'm going to do my experiment. I'm going to put on my jumper wire. I'm going to start the motor. And I'm going to see if suddenly my VesselView Mobile now will show me the tack and all the rest of the information about this motor. I have a suspicion that it will. If that's the case, and this is probably pretty helpful for anybody that might have VesselView Mobile, that they have a counter-rotating motor that's in my situation. I know that's not a normal thing, but it does happen. People buy used motors all the time out of pairs. And if you're having trouble with VesselView Mobile seeing anything out of it when it's by itself, this may be the solution, and it's one that apparently even Mercury doesn't know about. So I'm going to go hook things up, and then I'll start recording again. Alright, jumper wire's hooked up, water is on. Let's go see what happens with our alarm system. See what happens here. So far so good. I'm not getting the 4 beeps. Alright, well that part's good. VesselView mobile here. Looks like we have success. I'm getting data now out of my VesselView mobile where I wasn't before. I know the faults that are coming through. Some of them are for sensors I don't have, so I'm not that worried about them. But now you can definitely see that I'm getting all kinds of data now. And all it's showing me is the starboard engine is off, which is fine. I couldn't care less. And you can see I'm getting temperature, I'm getting voltage, I'm getting all the things I want. And you can see it's port and starboard. Now I'm getting it as a port engine. Whereas all I had this set up for before was a starboard engine. Now I wasn't getting anything, so now I have it. So I hope this is very useful to somebody out there if you've got a port engine that's by itself. If you set it up as a starboard engine, you won't get anything. Set it up as a port, you do. This is really good news. I'm actually kind of excited, to be honest with you. So now I'll be able to get fuel and everything else. Oops, sounds like that motor quit on me. Hold on. I don't know why it did that. Optis usually don't stall. I just goosed that and got a fault, so I want to see what it, oh, actually I shut it down and started it. That's probably what it was. Let's see what my faults were. Hopefully you can see this. Check my faults here, see what I was getting. No, that's the start. That's just an old message. 2, 3 legacy. Yeah, who cares? That's just an old message. Alright, that was just an old message, and it's probably for one of our PIDs, but that was an old message. Anyway, it's good to know that this is working, so I'm thrilled about that. Alright, called more success. See you next time.